to our page here, and this video I'll be reviewing set number 76031. This set costs £30 and it's called the Hulkbuster Smash. Here's the first minifigure of the set, and the first minifigure of the set is an Age of Ultron version of Scarlet Witch. Now one thing which is slightly inaccurate about this minifig, although it's fine, is the hairpiece. I mean, the hairpiece isn't really accurate to how the actress's hair looks in the movie, which is fine since LEGO would have probably had to mould a new hairpiece if they were to do an accurate hairstyle for this minifig. But other than that, it looks pretty cool as a minifig. I mean, there's a cardigan print right here with a sort of jacket with a zipper printed underneath that, and there's some dual moulded or printed on legs which show a short skirt. Unfortunately, that doesn't continue round to the sides or the back, so that looks a bit inconsistent. I sort of wish it did have side printing at least, and maybe back printing. That'd be sort of nice. But it's sort of a old minifig, so it sort of makes sense. And I get why there isn't printing around the sides and the back, since that's a pretty modern thing. But still, it would have been nice inclusion in this minifig. And there's some printing around the back. And also she has two facial expressions. One is angry and charged up with her power, so she's obviously focusing very hard to control the Hulk. And the other one is sort of a pleased smirk when she's seen all the destruction that happened. I mean, that one's not so good of an expression, but it's fine. And around the back there's some back printing to show the sort of bottom of the skirt, and there's also a bit of printing for the cardigan. And she also has these Power Blast pieces. Now I don't think these are accurate since they're not in red, and the ones in the movie are red, sort of her powers are red. And you can see that even in the eyes, which are red, and that's a really nice facial expression, by the way. But yeah, I sort of wish these weren't blue and they were red instead. Other than that, they're a nice piece. I just wish they were in the red colour instead of transparent blue. But other than that, this minifig is pretty good, and overall it's sort of a good first attempt at Scarlet Witch from Age of Ultron. So here's the second minifig of the set, and the second minifig of the set is Ultron. And this is the cheapest way to get a LEGO Ultron, so that's pretty cool. I'd say this is probably my favourite version. There's one thing which I really don't like about this minifig. It's the fact that he is really sort of dull compared to the design in the movie. I mean, the movie Ultron is really shining, and this version is a bit too dark in my opinion. I mean, you might think that it isn't, but I do think that it is. Other than that though, it's a really good Ultron minifig, and it looks really accurate to the movie. I mean, he's got this very menacing facial expression, which is really cool. He has this unique sort of moulded chin piece, which is very nice, and sort of creates the look of Ultron very well with the face print. And he also has a very nice and intricate torso print. I really like that. There's lots of nice details there. It's accurate to the movie and looks really cool. And there's a little bit of shine to his sort of colour, which is gunmetal grey. And that's quite a nice colour to use. I mean, it's a bit too dark, as I said, so I should have used perhaps a lighter gunmetal grey. But the shine to it is definitely very nice. And that sort of helps with the shininess a bit, but not enough to sort of create the colour being good of a choice. But the leg printing is very nice as well, as is the hip printing right here. And there's lots of nice printing, it flows very well, and looks a lot like Ultron did in the movie. And that's really nice. And around the back there's not that much detail, but there's quite a bit, and it's quite nice. I mean, there's detail on the torso, detail on the head, just no leg detail or arm detail, which is somewhat unfortunate. But overall, this Ultron minifig, besides the colour, is a really nice minifig of Ultron. It's the third and final minifig of the set. And this minifig is the Age of Ultron Iron Man. Now I really don't like this minifig. Although it's very accurate to the movie, I don't like this particular design of the Iron Man suit. I mean, I like the character, but I don't like this particular suit. And the reason I don't like it is because of these lines. It makes Iron Man look angry, and he's not known for particularly being angry or aggressive. He's known for being funny and silly, and I sort of think the lines sort of take away from the silliness and funniness of Iron Man and his sort of personality. I mean, that's not a fault of the minifig, it's a fault of the design from the movie, so I can sort of forgive it, and it sort of makes sense. They're trying to be as accurate as possible. So it's a good thing, but it's a bad thing as well, so yeah. And the rest of the helmet, though, is a very nice mould. It flips up, and it has sort of the indented eyes and mouth, and looks very accurate to the Iron Man sort of armour. And the rest of the details are really nice, though, so if you take this off, it looks really nice. And you can have a really cool unmasked version of Age of Ultron Iron Man. So the rest of the minifig has some really nice printing, which flows really well down the torso and legs and hips. And it's a very nice torso print, which has some very nice lines, and it's very intricate and very nice. And there's also some very intricate detail on the hips and the legs. I mean, the legs don't look quite as cool as the torso or the hips, but they're still very good, and they have some very nice shiny armour details on them, which I really like about Iron Man minifigs and makes them stand out in a crowd of minifigs. And the hands are sort of plain dark red colour, as is most of the suit, of course, to match the cherry red which Iron Man has in his suit in the movie. And on the back there are various lines and sort of tubes and pipes and metal plating and stuff, and lots of very nice details. Now unfortunately LEGO went with the old head for Iron Man, or Tony Stark I guess. I prefer the newer one which has a smirk and a scared expression. This one's still good, I mean it's very characterful. Not as characterful as the Yellowface, but still it's good. And it captures Robert Downey Jr. very well, and this one especially. This one not so much because he sort of looks angry. As I said previously, Iron Man isn't known for being angry, apart from if you've seen Civil War, then you'll know that he is very angry due to the ending of that. But I won't spoil it right here, because that's not necessary. But yeah, he has an angry expression and a sort of smirking expression slightly. So overall, I don't like the suit design, but LEGO captured it very well and it's very accurate to how it looks in the movie. So here's Hulk, and Hulk is a big fig. If you don't know how LEGO big figs work, basically they just rotate their arms around. You can also rotate their fists around, so you can sort of do this, or have a punching sort of action. And he also has sort of a moulded on abs, and he has printed on sort of shorts, which are purple and have some various Avengers sort of insignias. There's also the Avengers logo there, some red lines and various details around those. And there's no detail on the back unfortunately. That would have been quite nice. And the Hulk is moulded in a olive green colour. He has a very nice and fitting angry expression, and he has a sort of frizzy hairstyle. Overall, it's a very nice big fig, and here's it compared to a minifig. So you can see that it's basically like 2 minifigs high, which is about accurate for the Hulk's height. So yeah, this is a very nice big fig. Right, so here's the main build of the set, and the main build of the set, of course, is the Hulkbuster. I mean, with a set called Hulkbuster Smash, you kind of hoped that the main build would be the Hulkbuster. I have to say, they did it really well. I mean, they absolutely nailed how it looked in the movie. It's got all these really cool mechanical details, and one thing which I really like about this build, although there are many, is the fact that it absolutely towers over the Hulk, which is accurate to how it was in the movie. I mean, in the movie it was absolutely massive, and it is sort of, in minifig scale, this is pretty massive. And it has various sort of armour details like here, 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 and here. And it generally just looks really bulky and powerful, which it is in the movie, which is sort of quite cool. And you can get into all sorts of poses, and it's generally just a really nice sort of powerful thing. And it also has some stud shooters on this arm, and those shoot off like that, so you can shoot at them at Ultron or Scarlet Witch or even the Hulk, although you probably shouldn't, since that would make him very angry. And he gets more powerful the more angry he gets. Although admittedly, in this case, perhaps fighting the Hulk isn't a bad idea. But anyway, this mech also has some very nice details here, where it has the arc reactor in the centre, and it has these two sort of inner hand palm blasters, like Iron Man's suit actually has. So it's sort of like it's an upscaled version of the actual Iron Man suit, which is really cool and really nice attention to detail there from the designer of this set. And this mech also has a lot of articulation. I mean, the arms can go 360 degrees around, as can the legs, and it creates for some very nice and dynamic poses. And you can also open up the cockpit from the front and the top, and that creates very nice access for a minifig, and you can fit any regular sized minifig inside, which is really cool. And this chest section looks really nice as well. And that's probably my favourite part of the build and to look at. And underneath the feet there are sort of some boosters so it can fly and sort of jump up into the air really high, and that's pretty cool. And around the back there's also some thrusters to help with that. Now, around the back it doesn't look too good, but from the front and the sides and most angles that you'll have it at, it will look really cool. And the leg just popped off there, which is one of the main problems with this build, although there aren't many. It's sort of very fragile in various places, so the legs and arms can easily pop off. I mean, they are ball joints, so that sort of makes sense, and that's a typical thing with LEGO ball joints. But yeah, also the fingers can articulate, which is really quite nice. And overall this mech just has a lot of articulation, looks really nice, really accurate to the movie, it's a really bulky and big thing, really powerful, it's really fun to play around with. I absolutely love this LEGO Hulkbuster. Right, so here's a side build in a set, and the side build is a prison for the Hulk. Now in the movie this thing was much bigger, and it only appeared for 5 seconds, so I'm not sure exactly why it's in the set. I mean, it's relevant to the scene of the movie which it was in, but still, I don't know, it's not that great of an inclusion. I mean, it can hold Hulk perfectly well, although he does fall off the studs quite often. And there's quite a nice play feature with this, where if you have someone on a super jumper, or if you just flick this thing here, then Scarlet Witch will fall down, and that's quite nice. So you can have a little battle scene there around the cage with the Hulk in, and the Hulk can also break out, so you can turn these panels down and you can just jump out. There are some lights on the sides here, and on the big panels, there are also some stickers which sort of show some detail here, and it says Stark Industries. So yeah, it's a very basic, yet very nice, little sort of present for the Hulk. There's some extra stuff included in the set. There's a super jumper, which doesn't really work that well in Chip's Mythic legs, although it's a nice inclusion anyway. There are these two red cylinder pieces, transparent red, and they are to make it look like Ultron is flying, and they're sort of his energy bursts. Speaking of energy bursts, there are also these transparent red studs to show his sort of blasts, and there are the sort of transparent blue ones for Iron Man, the flight things and the blasts. There are also these two extra sort of ammo pieces for the Hulkbuster's stud shooters, and trust me, you will lose those, so you'll be glad that they're involved in the set. So yeah, this is just some little things included in the set. Not much, but some nice little things anyway. So overall, I really like this set. I mean, there's a great Hulkbuster build, and on the side of that, there's a Hulk, there's Scarlet Witch, there's this awesome Ultron minifig, there's also a little Prism build, and there's just lots of great stuff in this set for a great value. I really recommend this set, especially if you're a fan of the MCU, and that's it for this review. If you enjoyed this review, don't forget to like and subscribe.